Raising kids takes responsibility. Some people rise to the challenge, others struggle, and some never should have had kids at all, especially not seven. Her children were clean, their shoes were on. But behind the surface was a home filled with roaches, spoiled food, one bed, and piles of dirty clothes. At the end of the day, the seven kids deserve better, and the judge makes that clear.
Good afternoon, ma'am. You were arrested for one count of child neglect, and I will appoint the public defender's office for you. So this is basically a dirty home. She has six, no, she has how many children?
7,
Seven children? Mm,
ages 6 through 17.
Seven children, ages 6 to 17. So in her home, it was a report there was no running water and filthy conditions. But when they got there, the water was running. However, the food was spoiled. There was no edible food. The place was filthy, trash and dirty clothing throughout, roaches inside and out, inside the residence as well as the refrigerator. But the children were clean and had their shoes on.
There's nothing indicating that the children were malnourished in any way. The arrest form does indicating that she's been trying to get shelter for the last 3 years, and unfortunately, she's been unsuccessful because she's not been accepted for any of the programs, which is a really unfortunate, sad state to have to be in. So it sounds like she's been taking whatever effort she can. Unfortunately, she was working but lost her job last month, Judge. So she's obviously under some unfortunate circumstances, but there's nothing indicating that the children were malnourished. They had clean clothes on, Judge. There's nothing indicating they weren't going out and getting food at some point. There's nothing indicating that they were being neglected.
Judge,
Obviously, it's not an optimal circumstance for anyone, um, but at the same time, Judge,
Miss Corey, only one child had a bed they slept in.
right? I mean, the kids were in really
yes,
rough
Judge,
condition.
but when you're poor, some people
I
can
was poor, so tell me about it. I had macaroni and cheese every
Right.
day. I know
Judge,
what it's
I mean,
like.
clearly the defendant needs some help. She needs some services. She's got 7 kids, very little money, and the apartment is not in a state habitable for children. I think
she's
that
Where
reached
the,
out to the government for assistance and she hasn't been able to get any assistance. And it sounds like she's doing
she
the best
is
she
getting
can.
assistance. That's not true. She's getting
Well, she's getting very little. She's getting some assistance, but she's
eleven
getting
hundred and
shelter.
$36 a month from a SNAP program, which is to help her get food. Maybe they went through it. I don't know. But there's no reason that refrigerator in a home should be filthy like that with these children. They deserve better. But that being said, I don't know.
But
I
they're
guess
not does not indicate they're being unfed.
there
There's
was no
nothing
food in the
indicating
home, not
just
even a
because
cup
there's
of
no
milk.
food in the home doesn't mean that
but
you're not eating.
it's
A
more
lot of
than
people go out and they have food outside the home, or they
Okay.
eat whatever the food they get food and then they eat it right away, and then you have to go get back and get some more
What about the
because you don't
roaches in the
have
refrigerator? How
Judge,
about cockroaches in the
there's a lot
refrigerator?
of people that live with roaches in Florida in their homes, Judge. Unfortunately, I have roaches in my home, Judge. It's no fun, but
Listen,
I
we all
have them.
have bugs
I'll
in our
admit
home.
I have them on the record. I have roaches every day in my home,
so Judge,
every day.
right, if you look at
Too
everything,
much information.
right, if you look at the whole picture, these kids are being neglected based
Listen, I'm sure you're doing the best you can, ma'am, but I don't know where you have seven children. We're the fathers to help out. You shouldn't have to bear this burden on yourself. And I know there's going to be an open dependency case. So while this case is pending, I'm only going to give you supervised visitation with your children. I have no problem releasing you to pretrial services, but she should have been charged with 7 counts of child neglect, not one, for each child ages 6 through 17.
It- Judge, again, the arrest form does not state that they're being neglected. It's obviously not a wonderful
So
living environment, but there's nothing indicating that they didn't have sufficient clothing and that they didn't have sufficient food. Not one documentation of anybody being malnourished in any way, Judge. And they had
there
clean
was also no running water, but it was turned on by the time the police got there and DCF got there, which is good. 6 children sleeping on the floor on top of dirty clothing. I would believe that would be child neglect. Okay. Listen, ma'am, you got to get it together to be there for your kids. And I know you're pretty young. You're 37. It's a lot to bear. And the fathers here should be helping you. You should be putting them on child support. The state attorney's office has a child support division at 601, I believe, Northwest First Court And you should go there and visit that office and fill out the necessary paperwork to collect child support on these fathers. You should not bear the burden of this on your own. That being said, I'm entering a modified stay away order from your children. One is the 17-year-old whose initials are TW. Then you have another child, JH. I think that child's 15 years old. JH. And then another child, LH, RH, DH, JH, who's 9 years old, I believe, no, 8 years old. And then JD. So you're allowed to have only supervised contact with the children. You cannot be alone with the children. Do you understand, ma'am?
Will the dependency court
And that's until
supersede?
DCF says something different.
I'll get there, for that's subject to whatever DCF orders all, but only supervised contact until further order of this court or the dependency court. Do you understand that? Okay, also do not engage in any criminal activity, do not use or possess illegal drugs, and do not use, purchase, possess, or carry a firearm, gun, weapon, or ammunition. You must immediately surrender any firearms, ammunition, and any concealed weapons permits to the nearest police department and file a receipt with the court. And in the event there is an open case in dependency court arising from the same set of facts and events as this case, then any and all orders entered in dependency court regarding your contact, visitation, and custody shall supersede or replace this court's order. So what that means is if dependency court says it's okay for you to be unsupervised with them, it won't be a violation of this court's order. If they put anything more restrictive in place, you're going to have to abide by that as well. Do you understand? Ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Pretrial services, alternate bond, it's $2,500. So good luck to you. Make sure to keep all future court dates. Have a nice day.